Alrighty. So, for everybody, today is going to be a little bit more special than normal. We had some things kind of going on in the background. One of the players at one point we thought wasn't going to be able to make it is now able to be here. So they're also catching up just a little bit. But otherwise, we are going to be giving a small prologue as to what is going to be happening within the next campaign. To catch everybody up, in order to let you understand, this one is called My Heart's Desire for the name of this campaign. However, I put it in Latin, and I'm not even going to try and pronounce it. It's in the name of the video, as you'll be able to end up seeing while you're watching this. But to give the lore for this campaign, we are still within Wings of Fire. We are still within the same world and whatnot. We are about 1 week ahead of where the current campaign is with episode 7. The armies have landed on Pyrrhia, and they have been attacking relentlessly. They've currently only landed on the southernmost part of the island, where the Rainwing Kingdom is, and the Kingdom of Sand. They ended up beginning to burn a good bit of the forest, which the Rainwings weren't entirely prepared for, and has pushed them back quite a bit deeper into their territories. Whereas the Sandwing Kingdom ended up going out on the offensive immediately. However, due to the sheer strength and numbers of the opposing force of all the scavengers and all the new types of dragons and magic, they were not only pushed back, but the Scorpion Den has been completely overrun and taken over, pushing most of them back towards Queen Thorn's castle, which is where we end up finding our current party. We end up having Dust, Scarab, and Ocelot as our current and main protagonists of this story. I'll let the players go by one in order to explain their characters before we really end up diving into what has happened. Which of you three would end up liking to go first?
Dust can go first.
Dust would not like to go first, but Dust will do so. So, in essence, Dust is a very layered character in a lot of ways. For now, the basic thing that people should really look out for is that he has moments of incredible anger and of incredible violence, and he's not afraid to resort to violence because that's what he's really good at. That can lead to some complications at times, but he is kept in check by one of the other party members by the name of Ocelot, or, as known at the moment, Coyote. All will be explained momentarily.
So, hello. Ocelot is a Rainwing, but she's also an animus who can, change tribes. The thing is, she can only really switch to Pyrrhian tribes, and, she can only do it once a day. She's a healer who has kind of taken up the position of keeping Dust in check during this journey.
I'm just gonna say, Scarab is a Sandwing Nightwing hybrid as well as an animus. He's been traveling around Pyrrhia and even been trying to find time to find an opportunity to go and visit myself. been told that ever since Mayben lets you go on his own after spending most of his life at home being proper trained from his getting proper training in terms of being an animus from his father, who in of himself is an ancient dragon who is also an animus. So Scarab has become quite knowledgeable of properly using animus magic, but he is still very impulsive with the use of it. He just, as it currently stands, he is coming to Queen Thorn to inquire as to what in the world is happening, and if there's a way that he can potentially assist.
Well, I do believe that with that, we are good to end up really getting this underway. I already ended up giving the both of you a simple session 0. Both of you more or less end up finding yourselves, come morning, summoned before Queen Thorn and whatnot. And Scarab
what's
ends
going on
up
behind us over there?
Scarab slowly ends up making their way up as well.
Oh, that's a new dragon. Jess, you know this guy?
No.
Okay, he walked in like he knew the place.
No, there. So, um, Scarab just sort of trails off for a moment, just seem to have lost some sort of train of thought before he just gets an exasperated look on his face, almost as if it happens fairly often for him. He looks towards Queen Thorn and towards Queen Thorn. Your Majesty, so is there anything that I can do to assist with whatever is going on? Because it does seem as if that there is a bit of an invasion. My father has noticed that there's a lot of magic coming from them. So while he tries to figure that out, I thought I may as well come in and assist however I can.
Yes, well, I ended up calling you all here because each of you are more or less important members that have ended up helping out quite a lot already during this invasion for us. Dust, you have been quite essential on the front lines and come highly recommended by others.
Sure hope so.
Are you going by Ocelot at the moment or Coyote?
Coyote, currently.
Coyote, you have been absolutely instrumental in making sure that all of our injured end up getting better. In fact, I just ended up hearing that many of them will end up making an extremely swift recovery. Thank you.
Isopod bows her head a little bit.
Isopod is not here.
And did I say Isopod? Oops.
Yes, you did.
Isopod doesn't exist. I was glancing at my screen. Coyote bows her head a little bit with a kind of bright smile on her face at the news. Thank you, Your Majesty.
And Scarab, I end up hearing that you are a rather accomplished animus in particular, though you end up being a little hot-headed and gung-ho, from what I hear. You will be very useful for the current mission that I have in need of.
So just looks up from his talents, which he seemed to be picking at. it's not so much that I'm really hot-headed. I'm just, I'll say a little bit. I am impulsive with how I use my magic, but very rarely do I actually use it for anything harmful because it was about. He just stops, realizing that he was about to just start rambling on, and um, yes. So yes, I'll make sure to do my best to be as helpful as I can.
Well, the reason I called you all here is for an extremely, extremely important mission. We have been attacked just for about 2 days now. 2 days, and they have already ended up dealing this much damage to Pyrrhia and ended up driving back 2 full different forces of dragons. We need information. And I have just recently gotten word that apparently one of the generals for the scavengers want to defect. We need you to bring that general here.
Alive or?
He wants to defect, join our side, so yes, we need information.
What a coward.
Well, suffice to say, it probably didn't expect to be invading. Probably didn't expect them to start burning down an entire forest all without any proper reason to start causing that much damage. They might be invading, but they can at least be respectful of the actual surroundings. Plus, if they want to invade, if they're going to be destroying resources, then it's kind of idiotic. And plus,
I
I
mean,
wouldn't be surprised if with the strange creatures my mother has spotted among them, it seems like that they aren't exactly natural with how they're doing things.
I mean, burning down the rainforest is just the logical thing to do. At least parts of it.
Coyote's face slightly wavers at the mention of burning down the rainforest, but she doesn't really say anything on the matter.
I will say over the table for anyone who might be wondering what the heck is up with Dust right now. He was he's not necessarily all that great of a person at some level. The way that he was raised was by a bunch of criminals basically, and loyalty above everything. Even his enemies being disloyal to each other is disgusting to him.
Let's bring him in and try and end up figuring out what it is that he knows, especially with the issue that was brought to my attention. See, Queen Glory apparently is the one who ended up telling me about this. Well, it'll help to end up having somebody from their side on ours, since it appears one of ours has defected to their side.
Oh.
I wouldn't have thought Deathbringer of all people would end up being one to defect, but he did.
What?
You mean Queen Glory's mate? And
That's just a rumor, right?
Coyote has a very shocked look on her face. as if she knows these people a little bit better.
I don't know.
We don't know why he defected, but now they have a lot of our information. If we don't get information on our enemies with this general, then bad things will end up happening. I need you
Speaking of
all
that,
to end up trying your best to get to the edge of the enemy's encampment outside of our castle walls in order to try and bring him.
sneaking around, or
If you can. If not, then try and free some of the prisoners that are back there at least.
now that I can do. Huh. Oh, speaking of bad news, some weirdo bothered me when I was on watch last night and said some shit about wishes and all that shit. Something about stealing my soul or something.
That's strange. I don't... alright.
That he was going after the queens.
So now we're dealing with invading army, and it sounds like that there might be a mad animus on the loose if they're talking about granting wishes and stealing
Well, I
souls.
tried killing it, whatever it was, but it didn't die. Something. It started as a dragon, then turned into a little skittery human. Tried killing it. Didn't happen. Got back up and walked it off.
I came across that thing as well. Or rather, that thing approached me.
Oh, I get a chance. There's definitely a handful of dragons I'm going to know about these things.
You're gonna need to speak up. We can barely hear you.
Yeah.
Scar's just sort of mumbling under his breath. Well, when I get a chance, there's definitely a number of dragons I'm going to. There's definitely a handful of dragons I'll need to contact about what's going on. Especially
If I
now
may-
that there's apparently some sort of immortal creature capable of magic and killed queens.
If I may say a few words. I was able to get a little bit of information from him when he approached me. He refers to himself as the Wishmaster. And she glances over at Thorn, noticing she's moving closer to her. She also glances at Scarab, who's also moving closer to her. So, he said...
Sorry.
It's like,
So,
Everyone's okay.
he claimed that after 3 wishes to any one dragon, he takes their souls. He also said he isn't an animus at all. He is an animus created thing.
wonderful. Some man decided to play God.
So you're telling me that this thing grants wishes?
I mean, it's a lot less specific. All I said was that he's going to will look around quickly, make sure there's no one else out of the ordinary here before he says anything. Is there anyone else? Can I roll for that, or?
You may use your passive perception, which I believe you've told me is a 15.
Correct.
There is nobody around at the moment. Besides
He's-
royal guards, but they're a little bit a ways off.
All I did was say that I wanted something, and that was enough. I said I'd like to see what you really look like, and that was enough.
Interesting.
And,
Sorry.
I noticed that there's a lot of food now, and the wall looks a lot stronger.
Yes, that was. Well, now that you're saying it, not quite as lucky a break as I had ended up expecting. I wasn't approached by somebody in particular, but was asked a few questions here or there a couple of separate times. One, I ended up saying we didn't have enough food. We need to end up getting more, and I ordered somebody to go and try and end up collecting food for us. Another, I ended up saying that our walls weren't likely going to be strong enough, given the Rainwing Kingdom was having a hard time, and I told them in order to go and try and strengthen our walls. And by the way you're talking and making it sound, I might potentially know why Deathbringer might have maybe defected, if that's the case. Queen Glory in her messages ended up saying that she had ended up wishing that we all had more information. I'm assuming that whatever this thing is ended up taking the word all, meaning both sides.
That might be why someone on their side's defecting too, huh?
Unfortunately, that does make sense.
This is bad. This is extremely bad.
We need to
It
warn
is, and you
everyone.
yourself need to not voice any other desires around others. Because if it's done things twice, when you've spoken about how there wasn't enough food and how the walls aren't strong enough, then you're on. And you got only one left, and if it really does steal souls, damn it, all of it. It's a headache for all this, all the magic that's happening is a headache for. Sorry, a headache for me to deal with, and
I have an idea.
Um,
Could I?
One more thing.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, but I didn't even talk about making any request or any needs. I was simply asked. First, I was asked for if I needed food or water or to rest, and I said I would be fine. That strange dragon then, well, I guess the Wishmaster, as he refers to himself, then asked in such a way that I was tricked into saying yes, if he could help me. While I said he could help, it wasn't a wish, it wasn't a request, it was simply a permission. And yet that counted as a wish. I think we should be very careful what we speak out loud when it comes to this stuff.
I don't talk that much. But, Your Majesty, I have a suggestion. Find a dragon that you know you can trust. Make it so that they're the one that gives out the orders that you have, and maybe put it on a cycle of like 2 or 3. And look out for the eyes. Whatever is wrong with that thing, its eyes look wrong.
All right.
Most importantly, keep your mouth shut.
Keeping our mouths shut, unfortunately, will not solve the problem.
No. We also need to tell the other queens if this just outright kills someone, or worse, one of the queens will be the worst thing to do.
Yes. Well, this is something I'm gonna have to end up pondering for a little while. Until then, go do what it is that I ended up asking. And I think the next course of action after you do that is to try and go and alert all of the queens.
Regardless, you should start working on that right now, while we're gone. If we wait any longer, I mean, if that thing doesn't die and can look like whatever it wants to, it's more dangerous than anything else on this battlefield.
Caught between a rock and a hard place.
We'll do our job.
Go. I
Just get the
will
word out.
send out messengers to each of the locations while you do so.
Hey, wait a minute. Aren't you both animus dragons? He's gonna look between the
Yes.
other two. Don't either of you have a way to do that?
I can contact it. There are a couple of dragons that I can contact. I can contact quickly. They are. Oops.
I believe there was just an issue. It's fine.
There are a couple dragons that I'm close to that I can contact rather easily when.
Just who the hell do you think I am?
Okay then.
Ugh,
Yeah,
hold up. Discord's being very cringe at the moment.
I will say, now that I have a moment to speak, I guess, at the
Okay,
halfway
I'm
mark.
back finally. I'm so sorry it
Okay.
took so long.
Yeah, I was trying to say, at the halfway mark, I'm gonna have to go get some food.
Yeah, I also didn't hear a word that you had said after "Aren't you two animus dragons?"
Yeah, Scarab was saying something.
Okay,
Yeah,
well I didn't
so-
hear it.
yeah, Scar was saying, well, I do have a couple of dragons that I can easily contact when the Seawing Kingdom and one in the Skywing Kingdom. In fact, there's actually bringing the Skywing Kingdom since they're all technically family, and one of them is my technically adopted brother. But I'll try getting messages out to them quickly, and considering the status of two of them, the respective queens will take what they learn seriously.
Coyote kind of glances around really quickly. She didn't really want this other dragon to know very quickly that she was an animus. And then she just slightly glares at Dust like, why did you say that? But she doesn't
World-ending
actually say
threat.
that.
He just assumes and probably correctly guesses, and then just says, "World-ending threat."
Being an animus is a lot of responsibility, Dust. I would rather not have someone I just met know that just yet.
Well, the responsibility of it is why my father kept me basically at home for about 5 years after discovering that I was an animus, and would essentially turn my magic on and off, depending on when he would do it, depending on when I would do any training.
Dust is going to put a hand over Scarab's shoulder and be like, "You could save that for later. We've got a job to do."
Right, so you two go ahead, and I will catch up with you after I get those messages out.
Fine by me. Tired of talking
We
anyway.
should probably come up with a meeting place.
Do
Like
we have any
after
communication with
I
the individual?
know that I can end up giving you away in order to keep in contact with each other.
Okay.
And you see as she kind of turns to the book that she has right here before opening it up and starts going through some of the pages.
Oh, wow, she doesn't even have to touch it.
Yeah, it's a
She
self-opening book like the Minecraft enchanting table.
and you
Oops,
notice
sorry, I think I did that.
you watch as she ends up starting to go through several of the pages before coming to a page that has some what appears to be circles and squiggles and runes all over it and whatnot. Taking that page, she ends up ripping it out before she ends up looking at the page, and as she touches the circle, it flashes, and the ripped page from the book ends up reappearing, and she does it about 3 more times, and she hands each of you a piece of the paper. This hasn't
Good.
quite gotten out as of yet, but apparently something ended up happening. And as long as you end up knowing the right things in order to make, as far as I'm aware, anybody is now capable of using animus magic.
Oh yeah,
Well, that
I
sucks.
heard recently that there was an animus that just suddenly appeared on Pantala.
Yeah.
I was just going to freeze at that fact. Oh dear, father is not going to like this at all.
Apparently, they're some kind of hybrid.
Oh, that's 3 messages I have to get out right away. Hopefully,
Half hivewing.
I have an interesting question. Why does one of these symbols look like one of the ones in the book that my boss carries around? Well, vaguely. He's more
Coyote
asking
kind of
towards
glances over
Coyote,
at the
yeah.
book, and she's like, "Oh no, you're right. I don't like that.
This
I
is
don't
a
like
hint.
that at all."
This is a hint towards backstory stuff that has nothing to do with the campaign, but it's funny
Mm-hmm.
how similar it is.
Yeah.
She
Yeah,
will.
Coyote just kind of has a look of, "Oh, I don't like anything that's going on now." All of a sudden.
She will hand each of you one of the pages that she ended up ripping out. Just touch the circle, and you will be able to speak to one another. After you do so, you will only have about 25 words, but you will be able to do so.
We don't have
Over
to
the
get out
table, it's
full
just
messages.
Discord push to talk, but you only have a few seconds to talk.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, Your Majesty. And she tucks the note away in her bag.
Now
That
go.
probably has like a million herbs and stuff in it already.
Dust is gonna do the same, but his bag is a lot smaller because he doesn't carry all that much.
His bag isn't basically a bag of holding.
Yeah.
Now go. We don't have a lot of time at this point.
Correct.
Right.
so just
Off
going
we go.
to head off in this direction and just something out of his bag and start
Yep.
Start tapping with the town while speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking under his breath. Yeah.
So you
Just got
two,
wiggly.
you two will head out and begin making your way towards the enemy encampment, where you know the prisoners of some of the dragons that have been captured are. Meanwhile, I was gonna say Mantis because this is the model we're using for Mantis in the other campaign. Queen Thorn will end up acquiescing further in order to go and continue to study as to everything that's kind of happening at the moment in private quarters. While you, Scarab, end up making your way over to the corner and begin to kind of work and whatnot. As you do,
Hmm.
that's a little small. There we go. One of the dragons end up making their way over. They appear to be in guard uniform. Are you meant to be here at the moment? In one of the Queen's main chambers?
Yes, I am. I was simply communicating with some other dragons that I know. I don't need, and you can probably guess how I was doing so. And
I
you are.
one of the guards who end up guarding the Queen from people entering into some of the chambers, especially in a wartime situation.
Right, and just keep in mind that if you spot anyone out of the ordinary actually trying to enter our chambers, do try and make sure they aren't acting too strangely, because there is something, not someone, but something magical that is being a bit of a is honestly being a bit of a threat. Don't spread too much. Ask Queen Thorn herself, unless.
Look. I don't need to end up hearing all of this. How about we end up getting you out of here? All right? This isn't somewhere that is a good place to end up talking to others. If you'd like, I can end up finding you somewhere else to end up, doing your messages, but you can't be here.
Can I do a quick Arcana check just to see if there's anything magical about this dragon?
If you like.
That is a 22.
I mean, he's got some jewelry on him. Potentially, some of the jewelry might end up being magical in nature, but he is one of the Queen's Royal Guards, so maybe.
Alright, so I'll be heading out, and sorry, just had to take a moment to make sure that you aren't that threat that I was mentioning. So it's good to know that I can at least trust you in terms of I can at least trust you a bit when around the Queen.
Well, I am one of the gods, after all. Now, I need you to go.
Right, Scarab's just going to start heading out, and as does he just sort of flicks his wrist and I have mage. Well, let me double check. I gave myself mage. And he's going to use mage hand as he walks to continue to hold the stone and tap it as he speaks. And yes, I do have mage hand as the cantrip.
Okay. You leave, and you're a little behind at this point, but you're able to end up catching up.
Okay, I'd like to point out one thing, just
What?
over the table. There is a specific understanding of what Scarab said, that if that was who it might have been, could make it impossible to detect from now on.
Yeah, true. Well, that's why I did the Arcana check before saying anything else.
No, you already said everything else before that. That everything you said before the Arcana check would have been able to. Oh, like make sure there's no one strange entering the thing. Like, oh yeah, that sounds amazing. No one strange will ever enter.
God damn it!
I really hope that wasn't it, because you shouldn't have gone Arcana. That might actually ruin the entire plan I had.
This goddamn piece of shit.
So the current tally for everybody is 1.
Wait. Oh no. One.
I'm assuming that I'm assuming that I was right in figuring that out, right? Yeah.
More or less,
But-
yes. That was one of the reasons why I ended up saying I can find you another place should you end up liking, instead of just commanding him to get out.
And then he went and said something else entirely, and yeah, okay. Now we're not going to be able to tell who it is. Maybe.
So, are y'all on y'all's way to the enemy encampment?
Ocelot is all the way away from them, already looking for it.
Now that they see that the problem is now we don't know at all.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. This is probably me being paranoid, but at the same time, with something like this, you have to be.
Very psychological in nature.
Being too paranoid can also kind of over the table ruin the game.
Yes, it can. Yes,
And
it
I
can.
know how you get when you get paranoid. You get very what's the word? You look into literally everything.
I do.
And you try to take control a lot.
That's fair.
So don't do that.
Yeah.
Summoning.
There's a reason. Yeah, look, there's a reason why I was completely silent while that was being said, so I didn't interfere with anything.
Yeah.
But boy, was that difficult.
Yeah. Oh, before we actually get into the place, what the heck's going on here? Before we actually get into the place, I would like to have Ocelot kind of observing what's going on to see see if I can find where exactly that person is supposed to be.
So, looking out from a distance and whatnot, you end up seeing one of the spots that a small bit of a battle ended up happening a little while ago. Not like a massive one in particular, but one where they ended up coming in order to, kind of take this area in order to set up camp and the like. You end up seeing where 3 dragons that ended up falling in particular, they have already basically been picked clean. The army is not just, taking over and whatnot. They are physically using all of the kills that they have made at this point to make armor, have food in a place like this, everything. They're using everything. And it's horrifying to end up seeing. As you watch as they end up, finishing to pick clean a couple of the prior corpses left over. And knowing this, that pit that they're using for the prisoners is looking a lot less like a prison camp and more like a buffet table for them.
Oh, can we see the pit from here?
Yes. Not only that, you kind of know where the pit is. It's kind of been there for a little while. One of the meteors that ended up, falling a while ago that apparently ends up doing something with mind reading or whatever, making it have issues. One of them ended up falling somewhere around this area a while back and created the pit.
So, want me to distract him?
I'm sure you would do a great job of distracting them. Let's see.
You could end up doing this in the daytime, or you could end up potentially waiting for nightfall. It is up to you. In fact, whatever it is that you choose is up to you.
Would our choice have any effect on circumstances?
I mean,
Time is an issue.
if you end up waiting a bit, it's very likely that people won't be spread out as much as they are right now. They'll be potentially a little bit more clustered. I mean, after all, you have 3 separate areas completely covered with people picking dragon corpses clean. That might end up potentially making it a little easier. If you wait a little bit longer, there's a chance that some of these prisoners might end up being on the dinner menu, though you're not sure. While
I think now is
3 dragons have been picked clean, you're not sure how large their force is and what they need to eat at the moment. Not to mention the
Right.
4 dragons covered in spikes and looking like they're covered in metal surrounding the
Guys,
area
it
as
might
well.
be a good idea to wait till the cover of darkness.
mm,
I know, I
thinking,
know. You like action as soon as possible, but Dust.
no, I was actually thinking they might try to eat another dragon.
They might. Unfortunately, it's that, or we get caught and we probably end up food.
They can try.
Or they eat more dragons. In any case, probably better overall right now to just wait it out. And besides, they're less likely to see us if we're hidden away.
I have a question for the DM.
Go for it.
Are any of the dragons in the pit sandwings? I'm assuming a lot of them are.
There are 3 in total that are sandwings.
Does Dust recognize any of them?
Roll me a d20.
Oh boy.
'Cause I'm gonna absolutely play into this a bit. He has priorities. That's a 17.
Could I actually see if I recognize any of them as Coyote?
Yes, you may. Also, I'm
Because they do
assuming
work together.
Ocelot has been around a little while, so you can end up, making a roll yourself for any of the other dragons.
The reason that
Okay.
Dust in particular would recognize any of them is if they were at the Scorpion Den at any point or worked with his boss at any point, he's definitely met them and has worked with them basically his entire life.
I got a 9, by the way.
Okay. No, you do not recognize any of the sandwings.
I don't? Okay.
No. However, Ocelot, I'll go ahead and let you roll at advantage, just because of a situation in particular.
Okay. A d20. A 10.
Okay. You do recognize one of them. Winter is currently in that pit.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a prince in the pit.
Well, there's royalty. Great. Now we have to do this as soon as possible.
Great. If there wasn't royalty involved, we probably could have gotten away with actually waiting it out, but there's royalty involved, so... Guess you're right, Dust. We gotta get going.
There is a chance
Why do you
they
sound
might
angry
not.
about
There is a chance that they might not do anything before nightfall, but there's a chance that
Or
they
we
might.
could wait and see if they try to, and then make action if they do.
Uh,
I much prefer that idea.
Garib looks.
actually, yeah, if I wanted to try and get an idea for how they all speak so I can try and replicate it, what role would I make?
You're trying to replicate the way that the scavengers end up
Yeah,
speaking.
I'm trying to listen, and then I'm going to try to replicate.
Okay. Do you have a feat that allows you to do it automatically, or are you just trying to do it off the cuff?
I was going to see if there were any like roles I can make to try and like listen to get an idea, and then try and do something.
Okay,
with that
because
information.
I know the actor feat has a feature that allows that. I just didn't know if you had the actor feat or not. So in that
No,
case,
I do.
you may roll a perception check to kind of get a clue in on it, but then when you want to try and do so, that'll be a deception check.
I got 23 on the perception.
Okay. So you've got a good idea of what they sound like.
All right, so then I am going to do the deception check while also doing magical tinkering to like taking out a little stone out of my bag. I'm going to use magical tinkering on the stone so that when tapped by a creature, an object emits for a message that can be heard up to 10 feet away. Your other message when you bestow this property on the object in the recording can be no more than 6 seconds long.
Okay, so you're
Right,
kind
so-
of making the voice yourself into this thing.
Yes.
Okay.
I got a 16. So I guess I'll have to beat that when I make an attempt.
Yep. So you are
Right,
going
so
to
I do
be
have a
waiting a little bit then.
I'm just going to try and make
Actually,
my way.
just a second. Before
Yes.
that, I realize I have Pass Without Trace. Could I actually cast that? It affects me and all my allies.
Mm-hmm.
And let me see what it does real quick, because I know it's helpful as heck.
Plus 10 to your stealth checks.
Yeah, each creature I choose within 30 feet of me, including me, has a +1 bonus to dexterity.
Plus
check.
1, plus 10.
Plus 10, yep. And then also, part of the description is a veil of shadows and silence radiates from you, masking you and your companions from detection. And we can't be tracked except by magical means.
And we leave no other tracks or traces of our passage.
Yes, so I would like to cast that before anyone wanders off.
Okay. It lasts for an hour, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. So are you trying to move positions before you end up, waiting it out? Or are you waiting it out and then when you get ready to go in are casting that?
Alright, give me one moment, please. Dinner is ready. I'm gonna grab it.
Yeah.
I would like to go ahead and cast it right away. Because
Okay.
I have a feeling that if I don't, everyone might be screwed.
Okay. It will end up running out by the time it ends up getting later in the day.
You got it.
Oh, it works with the plane nav, yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to try and make my way like relatively close to like this big old group of enemies over here. So,
Well, they are going to be moving as it ends up getting later in the day. They won't be here.
I'm just trying to get. Yeah, shouldn't I'm trying to get close enough to use the goddamn stone. So I'm just going to.
One more moment.
You're good. I'm updating the map.
So I temporarily have a +10 to my dexterity.
Yup.
And so that would not allow me to go over the cap of 20, right? Or is that just on top of
No, it's
that?
+10 to stealth checks.
Plus
Yes.
in self checks. Okay.
So just whatever you roll, add 10.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's going to be a 28.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah, so I'm going to. Actually, where is the pinging tool again?
The what?
Like that little pinging tool to ping a location.
It should be in the.
You can
Hold
also
up.
press T, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm going to toss the little. So I'm going to tap the little stone that I'd use a magical tinkering on, and I'm going to toss it right over. Right
Oh
over
my gosh,
here.
I just see people appearing.
And as it lands, it is going to play out the message. Someone get. We need to take everyone up to the north. They're attacking out of nowhere. No, it seems like an all-out assault.
You're throwing it into the pit and having it say that?
Throwing it close to a guard, so that's like.
Oh yeah, just outside the pit, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like right between this guard and that dragon, but then you moved the dragon.
Yeah, and then you moved the dragon. It's all your fault.
It's all mine. Oh, little dot.
Can someone catch Dust up to where Coyote is?
Yeah, I got it.
Yep.
Alrighty, let me
They're
make
basically just bodyguarding each other constantly. Oh no!
You see these
Sure.
guards in particular end up kind of turning around. Hang on, let me do something. Should be able to do everybody at once. No, I can't. Sad.
I don't exist. I'm in the sand, so you can't see me. So I don't actually exist.
Yeah, wait. Sandwing should also have a natural bonus to stealth while they're hiding in sand. Kidding.
Yeah, that's
But
right. You gain, also
they-
gain I also gained advantage on deception checks. But it doesn't even matter because the advantage that I got in would have been a 20.
Oh,
And the roll that I
natural
made
or
was
no?
21. No, it's not natural.
Okay.
18 plus 2.
Damn, that's the dirtiest 20 I ever seen.
Well, it actually
Uh-uh.
does end up helping you here because that was 2d20s, meaning it was an advantage, not a flat what the number was.
Oh, I see. So even
Oh,
with the 16, I would have succeeded. Yay.
Yep. They rolled the 16, which is what you had, but as you ended up having advantage due to your race, you end up
Yeah.
succeeding. You watch as two of them end up turning around at three of them. There's one more close by. Ends up, turning around in order to kind of look at it. Oh, look. No, man, crap. Send the military. Send everyone. We have to end up keeping these people here to watch the prisoners, but send the army. And it gets passed around a little bit before eventually you end up seeing the group who was, getting ready to end up resting for the night. They had taken off their boots and whatnot, end up quickly getting dressed once again and begin heading off north.
Yay! Problem solved.
mostly.
They just don't question the orders. They just go.
Yeah.
Scarce is going to give a annoyed grunt at the fact that it's not also the guards ended up staying. Well, at least it's something.
Yeah, numbers are numbers.
May I ask if the sand is traversable beneath it?
Beneath
You
what?
know, beneath the sand. Is it traversable?
You want to dig under the sand?
I want to submerge within sand, become one with the sand, and then yoink people down into it.
You can dig into the sand, yes. Although unless you have I forget what it's not earth glide, but it's the ability to end up moving through earth as if you're walking, you won't be able to. Do you have a spell that's helping you here?
Let me look.
I might.
All right, let's see what you have prepared.
Freedom of movement, perhaps?
No.
That no.
Aw.
What does this one do? No. Nope. Although you do have. Wait, why don't you have any spell slots?
What do you... I don't...
It's
What?
it's all
Hold on. Long
spell
rest.
points.
Oh wait, you were doing spell points for this?
That was the assumption.
Oh, okay, sorry. All right, ignore what I did. Yeah, so basically nothing. Unless you want to summon lightning, in which case go for it.
Oh man, chain lightning would be great here.
No, it's unfortunately not chain lightning.
Just call lightning.
Unless, do you have chain lightning? What level spell is that?
That one's a fairly high level spell. I think it's
Yeah, then definitely not.
6 or 7.
Yeah, I don't
No.
think.
How do I
Although, hold up, move Earth.
move Earth? Ooh.
There's a spell that isn't prepared, unfortunately, called Move Earth in the selection for this. You just lift a chunk of ground out of the ground and move it.
Yep, that's nice, but you basically move the physical earth instead of, allowing you to glide
Yourself.
through it.
Yeah. Damn, I was really hoping that freedom of movement would work for me.
Yeah. Alright, well, I think,
Oh shit, that's not what I meant to do.
could I have, I'm assuming, probably a good idea to...
Where is Ocelot?
Hiding. Hi.
Oh, there you are. I was wondering. I thought you actually moved yourself through the ground.
I could see you the whole time, that's weird.
Bye.
I can still see you.
I don't know.
Do I have higher permissions than the DM?
No.
Oh wait, I have really good stealth. Is it daytime or nighttime?
It's nighttime at this point.
Did
Oh,
you
you know
rotate
what?
the
I
sun?
can. Yeah, it looks like daytime to me.
It's
Here,
a little too bright.
Let me apply it to the board. Maybe that'll help.
Woo!
There we go. That's the
So I can
proper
just-
vision that I want to see.
So like because it's nighttime, I can probably just like kind of walk over.
Yeah.
Do.
You may make a stealth check.
Okay.
I want to have Dust climb.
Oh, thank
No,
God!
no.
I got a 22.
I'm gonna before she started walking off, I'm gonna have Dust ask, "You want me to go in loud or?"
No one. Sorry, I didn't catch that.
You want me to go in loud or?
Okay, I want you to go over, here and take this guy out. Quietly. Alright?
Nah, you're no fun. All right,
Right?
gonna have him attempt to make his way over there, going
You
around the
may as
long
well.
way to have less visibility.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you may as well. And did you end up recasting the pass without trace spell, by the way, before all this?
That's
Let's
not
go
Pass
with
Without
that.
Trace, is it? Yes, it is, I guess. Yeah, take off the spell points for that. I'm gonna go ahead and make that stealth check.
I'm going to make my way over to this guardian dragon over here.
Okay.
I appear to have an issue, as I
Man,
have
it's a
rolled
good
a
thing you have
7.
+10 to that.
I appear to be stupid. I have a 17.
I rolled a dirty 20.
That's a dirty 30, sir.
Yes.
Unless you rolled a 10.
Yeah, it's a dirty 30.
Dirty
Oh, it's a
30!
dirty 30. We all got. Oh, yeah, I got a dirty 32.
You're just going to be hiding in the shadows over
Yep.
here.
So
I'm
y'all.
like basically in plain sight, but they just can't see me.
Mhm. So
I am literally right in front of this person.
mhm.
Yeah.
Go
I want to
ahead.
use
There
my
is-
will thinker.
I'm gonna roll a d20. If I get higher than a 10, Dust is gonna shove him off the cliff.
Just shove him down.
Okay, it's a 9. You're good.
Okay.
Oh, good.
My spells.
I'm going to actually. I think I'm gonna actually try to shove my guy off a cliff.
Oh, so you are gonna shove. So
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and
Dust
just.
will watch that happen, and then you'll just absolutely go for it.
So you know what? Yeah, that's gonna happen before me. So yeah, go ahead, do that.
Okay, do I need to roll in athletics, yeah?
You will be rolling an athletics check. Yes.
Hell
And I
yeah.
just rolled a fucking 28 on an attack roll for killing that guy in front of me. Damn it.
I'm going to use
Oh, no.
disguise self to make myself look like one of the Iron Wings.
I appear to be very weak.
You are incredibly weak.
I
Oh,
rolled
boy.
an 8.
Yeah.
Unless I get to roll with advantage.
From stealth, maybe. The guy isn't expecting it. Maybe.
You
Yeah, he
are
is.
you are in stealth. I will allow you to roll advantage. And what did you say you're trying to end up doing, Scarab?
I'm casting disguise self on myself.
Okay.
And I'm going to come over to these two guards.
So,
Two guards and just look at
You
the
look like
two
an
of them.
Iron Wing, right?
Yep. And I'm just going to say in like the way of speaking that I heard that I caught on to earlier. I think that so I'm here to take over on this little area for the two of you. So I'll let two of you go up towards the camp and just rest for a bit.
I've been ordered here.
And I'm saying that you can go ahead and go. Because
That's
every dragon, every human needs a bit of rest, don't they?
not how orders work. Uh, what kind of what? And he kind of turns to you a little bit.
He'd be like, "Is you fucking with me right now?"
Who's your rider?
My rider was recently killed by one of these damned natives.
I see. You're having issues then. Uh, in that case, you should end up going in order to end up speaking to, higher command. Try and get better. You're having problems.
This is funny.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Also 12.
12?
12.
Okay. And I need to roll for this guy. Yeah. Throw the
Please
dice
get
into
below
the
a 12.
distance.
Dude was just like, dude's taking a piss into the pit and he got shoved off.
So
He was trying to piss on a dragon.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's also a dragon behind him.
So as that is happening, where is...
I'm going to vortex warp the Iron Wing.
Hold up now, hold up. Can I delete this guy real quick? Actually, wait, I'll let the DM.
That
the
is
order of
the
things.
closest thing that I can find to a torch. So that is what we're using. His torch falls to the ground as he ends up going,
Dust is going to shoot the most horrifyingly angry glare at Coyote, and then shove the guy in front of him as hard as he can.
Alright, you may also
She
make
looks
an
back at him like,
athletics
"What?"
check.
Yes, I will, with a natural 20.
Oh!
This man just gets yeeted into the abyss.
He gets yeeted into the other wall.
Yeah, all the way across into the other wall. Just a solid and he's just flying.
He drops his torch. And you hear another, but this one ends up going a little bit farther.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, nice aim.
Okay, so chances as I look at the Iron Wing, I'm like, what in the 3 months was that?
Yeah, and then you end up watching as everyone kind of begins looking that way, including the Iron Wing. You may make another stealth check, as you're not exactly in the light, but you are kind of close to the light at this point. And there's a difference between looking immediately at somebody and,
Watching your ally
Oh,
fly
hell
off
yeah,
into the
nat 20,
abyss.
let's go.
Oh.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna roll a d20 first to basically flip a coin. I don't know if Dust can keep under control here. Is that cool with you?
This is your story.
Nah, you know what? I'm gonna decide here. Dust is angry, but he's not an untrained idiot, so he's going to try to make the stealth check with a 17. The second 7 I've rolled for a stealth in a row, by the way.
Yeah, I think I just kind of.
My leg.
You're not supposed to be talking.
Yeah, that dude's entire fucking spinal column was just deleted, and then they broke their leg. Yeah.
Yeah, must have been a death rattle. He must have fallen, I promise. Yeah, Coyote totally just like flattened herself really fast to be unseen.
Dust less so. He took a deep breath and then flattened immediately.
So, so with all that happening, Scare's just going to act like he's freaking out. Oh fuck all of this. All this I thought it was just rumors. I heard one of the prisoners talking about some strange creature that comes in, kills any scavengers and dragons without even a moment for them to react. Fuck all these prisoners. Let's all get out of here.
As it turns out, those rumors might be based in reality, as there might be something you guys don't know about lurking in the darkness.
Oh my gosh.
I rolled the performance check. And since I have advantage, I got an 18.
Okay. They all end up, kind of trying to end up finding the individuals, and I was about to say Mantis because you look so much like Mantis's model. Ocelot, you end up hiding because you did have that nat 20. But I don't think Glimmer had that nat 20.
Dust.
You mean Dust?
Dust did not. Dust had a 17. Dust is not so good at hiding when he's pissed off.
Unfortunately, the closest individual did have a natural 20. Not that it matters whenever it ends up coming to ability checks, but it's still a higher overall roll than what you did.
I make a request to hold an action that if anyone gets within anywhere near range of me attacking them, they're going to probably get hit.
Perfectly fine with me. But they end up yelling, "Invasion! We're being attacked!" And the rest of the prison guards all end up more or less getting ready to fight as, we will say, initiative goes ahead and starts.
Alright. I do have...
I'm gonna be hidden when it starts.
As there are a lot in total, I am just going to go ahead and kind of have a their turn and then y'all's type of turn and whatnot. So go ahead and roll for you guys. Mantis, you are in... Or, not Mantis. Oh, kill me. Ocelot, you are... you are in stealth, so you have advantage.
I have advantage on initiative rolls.
Hell yeah. I got a 13.
Can I roll higher than a 20? No, but I do have a 20.
Okay. It'll be you. What did you have, Scarab?
12.
12?
Also, since we are entering combat, I just want to point out that because of my subclass and because of the whole armor thing with the... Oh yeah, anyways, because of the whole artificer thing and being armor, I currently have an armor class of 19.
Did you get the extra +1 from being above 10th level?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Okay.
This is good, as you currently have equal armor class to the guy who isn't wearing armor.
Yep. Dust, you are currently up first.
Can you make me undying, please? I mean, by that I mean not currently laying on the floor.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So there's a guy right here. Right? See that guy?
There is indeed.
I don't want to. Don't worry. Oh my god!
Wait, why?
The distance, dude.
Why is that so far? That should not be that far. Hang on.
I was about to say, did you accidentally make things in the wrong scale, or?
I made it at the wrong scale. Hang on.
Oh no. Reality's unfolding. Reality's unfolding.
How many people are there over here again?
So you're at about 15 feet.
Okay, that's a lot better. Did you modify that from the other campaign?
I decided to end up changing the movement values to make it end up being just a little bit more.
Okay, because yeah, I was The one thing that I had talked about with one of the other players, but I didn't bring it up because I, kind of forgot about it. I'll be honest. The other solution was to give a 5-foot bump to everyone just to smooth it out a little bit.
Yeah,
The movement speed,
I ended up making it so that way, more or less, instead of having the tiles be set at about, 5 feet of movement, more or less, I kind of made it so that way everything was basically a 10-foot type of movement. So
Okay.
basically, I ended up making the system so that way it doubles all of y'all's movements in particular. So now it feels like the dragons who are larger moves faster.
Woo.
Okay. Dust is going to enter rage.
Oh dear.
Engie.
He is going to roar like nothing anyone here has ever heard before, except maybe a certain ocelot individual. And as part of that, he will move half his speed, up to half his speed, which is 40, by the way. So he's going to be able to just poof right down over here. And this is just, he pounces on them. That's what it is. He's going to go flying into the air like a little short hop. And I'm going to make an attack.
By the way, when
what's up?
Coyote witnesses him roaring, she's just like, oh, I'm gonna have to deal with this later.
Oh, yeah. He's going to make an attack. Does a 16 hit?
A 16 hits.
7 slashing plus... How much is the rage damage? Forgot to take note of that. Hold on.
I believe you are sitting at either a +3 or a +4 right now.
Give me one moment. Rage damage is +3, yes. So that's 10 damage straight up.
Okay. With your first attack, he is bloodied.
Nice.
It will continue. The murder will continue. Does a 15 hit?
If 15 does not hit, you can use
Okay.
Reckless.
I would like to use Reckless then. 27 to hit instead.
That'll hit.
Non-critical.
Yes, that'll hit.
Alright. 16, so 19 slashing damage.
Ouch.
He's just absolutely tearing into this human with the claws. Oddly durable for a human.
How do you kill him?
Torn to shreds. Blood everywhere.
You know what? The torch is put out.
Yes, this is correct.
Because
There will be blood
there's a lot of
everywhere.
blood.
I imagine if Scarab saw this, he'd be like, "What in the fuck?"
Meanwhile, Ocelot's just, or rather, Coyote is just completely, she's used to this.
How far is it
So she's
between
just
me and the next
unfazed.
target?
Well,
That's no good.
with your half a movement that you get, you still have about another 15 feet.
I'm gonna
So-
jump over to this next one.
Yeah, that would be 30 in total that you have used now.
Yeah, I'm going to use my special feature that you gave me, Born in Battle, to Action Surge.
No.
Oh dear.
Oh yeah, Barbarian with Action Surge.
So,
Oh no.
go ahead
Attack
and make
again.
your 2 attacks, I assume, unless you roll well.
16 to hit.
16 hits.
That is 15, 16, 17 slashing damage.
Oh boy.
He's dead.
This guy just gets slashed up and then bashed off into the cliff with a backhand. Off the cliff, I mean.
Yep. And then you can use another 15 foot of movement to get to the next one, which will end up using 10 of your half of movement and then 5 foot of your normal movement.
Yep. And then I'm gonna go another attack. 26 to hit!
Yes.
For a
that
total of
hits.
10 slashing damage.
He is bloodied.
And now to check if I have a bonus action. I do! Stinger attack!
Use your stinger.
Which I believe would be using my strength modifier plus proficiency bonus, correct?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, so 7 to hit plus 4 plus 4, so that's 7 plus 8 is 15. And is reckless still applied or only one hit?
Reckless applies to the whole turn if you end up using it.
Okay, I will do that again.
Yep.
That's oh my god, that is like a 20, 28, 27 to hit or something like that, or 26.
Lord.
You're good.
The damage is it permanent? Is it always a 1d6?
Let me look at your
Poison noises. Oh.
What was
And-
that? Poison noises? What?
For everybody
Being
watching the
poisoned
stream,
noises.
yes, I went through specifically and ended up creating each of these. Yes, and the reason why is because the poisoned condition is a very useful one. So I didn't end up increasing the damage for that one in particular. So it'll always be a d6, but
Well,
you know, it's nice.
That's an additional 3, but would rage damage apply to that or not at all?
Rage damage would end up applying, but they're dead
Oh,
anyways.
no.
So
They're just dead.
This man just gets impaled on his tail. The poison doesn't even get him. He's just impaled and then flicked off behind dust.
and then you still have movement.
Oh my gosh.
And
How much
it
more do
looks
you think
like
I have here?
10 foot is your next.
Alright,
So
Dust is
you
gonna
will
keep
have
going, and
used-
that's it.
Yep, you would have used a total of 15 feet overall of your normal movement.
And just for the fun of it, he's going to roar directly in this dude's face.
Just Angie.
Just to be a butthole.
Could I do intimidation?
You may, if you like. Although,
I
I,
mean,
will
yeah.
tell you, he's definitely already intimidated as is.
You know,
Yeah, he
may
just
as well
saw
have a
you
little-
kill 2 of his friends in a row.
Like, I know he's probably intimidated, but Dust doesn't care. He's angry. It's 15.
Yeah, he's intimidated.
Real pissing his pants right now.
He didn't just piss his pants, he shitted him.
You ever see that meme with the doors along the wall and the trail of blood coming out of each, and the Grim Reaper has been visiting all of them? That's just this one right here.
This man has just killed 3 people in a row without even taking a single fucking breath.
Yeah.
So
And Kyle just pushed someone off a ledge.
Yeah.
the Iron Wing in particular is watching as all of that ends up happening, and I am gonna make a quick check to see what he's gonna do. I'm rolling at disadvantage.
The one that's next to Scarab.
Yeah.
I would like to quickly
Oh.
point out that thing from the session 0 survived that much.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
He is going to grab his rider, and he is not sticking around.
Coward! Dust would see that happening and just yell "coward" as loud as he could.
Did my persuasion check from before have anything? Did my performance check from before have anything to do with that?
No.
Oh, the one about the monster in the sands?
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't be entirely wrong. Dust kind of does apply to that description.
This one is going to stick next to his rider, but not do anything as of yet. As for these desert guards, each of them will kind of begin to move towards you that are on this side in particular.
Oh,
Oh, do keep in mind, I still have disguise self up, so I still look like an Iron Wind.
Yep.
I'm still heckin' stealthy.
You guys could just beat them to death as they pass by.
Meanwhile, as I'm doing this,
Opportunity.
Ocelot, while I am moving these humans as they cannot get within reach of you, feel free to do whatever it is that you want.
See real quick something.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, so I have a funny little cantrip I can use.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Thorn Whip. However, for the purposes of flavor, the Thorn Whip takes the form of a pair of the golden version of the Dragon Bite Vipers. It doesn't do any extra damage. It just looks like that. Those are her
It's
bracelets.
just fancy.
Yeah. So she's gonna go ahead. The guard that's closest to her, I'm going to cast the Thorn Whip.
Awesome.
It's a melee spell attack.
It's
How
a
does
30-foot
melee
range.
spell attacks work?
It's right.
Like, does it use the spellcasting proficiency for that?
That's a good question.
Thorn Whip? To hit, yes.
Okay, I'm gonna hijack your character sheet for a second.
Yep.
Cool.
You could cast with wisdom, I believe.
So
it's
I think so,
4
yeah.
so it's +8 on a d20.
+8. On a d20. I got a nat 20. This man is in danger.
So you do 3d6 damage, by the way. Does that crit or no?
I believe Spell Sniper. Actually, no. All of them end up allowing you to crit. Do you crit? Did you get a nat 20 or no?
Yes.
I got a nat 20.
Okay, so yes, you'll get to roll twice as much damage. So you'll do
So
6d6. Meanwhile, does a 19 or 20 hit you, Dust?
Yes and yes.
Okay.
This
Wait,
man
you
took
just
19
Keep in
damage.
mind, everyone has advantage on me because of reckless attack.
Yeah.
Good point. I need to roll again. So that
Did
that
we
would be a
just straight up
20 for the
skip my
one.
turn? Where are we at this point?
No, you have. It hasn't gotten to your turn yet.
Okay, it's like, wait a second. I thought we were doing us first and then the enemies. Like,
No, yeah, I have the enemies all set as one except for the Iron Wings. The Iron Wings have their own separate turn. That's gonna be 5, 6, 7. 7 points of piercing damage, and then go ahead and roll Constitution for me. It's a saving throw.
Okay, hold on. Give me a moment. My roll 20 is acting a little funky.
Oh, it also pulled the guy 10 feet closer to me. Which is basically on top of me.
Okay. Apparently, with my rage, it's also considered now a frenzy, which means I can do a bonus action attack instead of just a stinger, which is neat to know.
I love the what is it? Battle Rager, I believe is the subclass.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It's a very fun one.
That.
But
Constitution, you said?
Constitution saving throw, as all of their weapons have poison on it.
Which I am resistant to. Hell yeah.
I
have 19 on that.
19, you pass. You will take half of the damage, but then you will have it again.
Oh no, 2 damage probably.
That'd be a 9, so we count that as an 8. That'll be 4, 2. Yeah, 2.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
I called it.
Yep. How much damage did you deal? With your Thorn Whip?
19.
He did.
The man just gets wrapped up in a very sharp bundle of thorns and just bleeds to death in midair.
Actually, no. A pair of golden vipers just bit him and pulled him closer.
Grabbed by the neck and killed.
Like,
does a 17...
they're very annoyed at me now.
Does a 17 hit you, Dust?
No. What are they doing? Are they shooting like? Are they punching at me or something?
No, they got spears, as you can end up seeing what they have.
They're just kind of bouncing off part of his scales, like, go on.
I kind of just imagine Dust being like, yeah, this ain't the first time I've dealt with spear-wielding maniacs. And he's just kind of inspecting his nails, completely unfazed.
It's funny you say that, because I was actually doing that in real life. I was looking at my nails.
Oh my gosh, that is funny.
So that is your action, Ocelot. Do you have anything else you wish to do?
Did I move? I don't think I moved.
You have not moved.
No, you're still somewhat not really hidden.
I mean, he didn't see me when I yoinked him closer. He didn't even have time to do anything.
There's another guy right in front of Scarabish. Something like that.
Yeah, I do have a quick question though. How close do you have to be for the stinger?
Melee range, I believe?
Yes.
Melee range?
5 feet.
Okay. I'm gonna yeet on over there. Bonus action stinger this fellow.
Alrighty.
Okay, so it deals 1d6. Okay, you have to succeed a DC 13 con
So
save.
the stinger attack. So you would do. Would you say what modifier? What stat would you say it relies on for a druid?
It's still a strength, or you can use dex, whichever is the one you end up doing.
I'll use dex because that's bigger for me.
It's a d20 plus 8 for you.
Okay.
They do pass, so they will take half of the secondary damage.
Oh.
Or, no, it's save or they take the damage. So they'll take the first d6 of poison, but they won't take the second d6 of poison.
They will take 5 damage. Oh no, they won't take 5 damage. Okay, sorry. Not plus 8. That's not damage at all.
What are you talking about?
I got confused. It's rolling.
Oh my god. Okay. So I rolled 2d6, right then, or 1.
Well, does. Yeah.
They succeeded, so you'll roll 1.
Okay, thank you. 4. They took 4 damage.
They take 4 damage.
4?
And I just kind of snarl at them a little bit, like, you better back up, buddy. Even though I rolled up on you, you better back up.
I may have rolled up on you, but you back up.
Yeah, back up right off that cliff behind you.
Alright. Is that your turn?
It would be so funny. Yeah.
Alrighty.
I was just thinking it would be so funny if you actually listened. I was like, I'll take my chances falling to my death.
I will take my chances. Scarab.
Can I act?
Right, so I am. So where exactly can I stand to? Is there like 15 feet between these two characters? I still don't know how to do the whole.
Yes, they're 10 feet apart from each other right now.
Mhm.
All right, and now do I have enough movement to get to like some point right between them?
Yeah, you'll use 20 feet to get immediately in between them.
All right.
Perfect.
Going around to avoid.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm going to get right about here.
Okay.
And then where's the
Something about how you changed the measurement affected how fast I could scroll across the screen.
That's not true.
And I'm going to use Thunderwave.
Interesting. Oh boy.
Yeah, so they have to make a Constitution saving throw. And on a fail throw, so it's a 15-foot cube in front of me.
Okay.
They have to
And
make the Constitution saving throw, and on a failed throw, they take 2d8 thunder damage and are pushed 10 feet away from me.
you will be able to get one of them, but not quite the other one.
That's like 15. That's a 15-foot cube right in front of me. That's affecting a 15-foot area right in front.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you choose the face of it, which basically ends up creating a box, more or less. Let me kind of show you. No, I want the cube, please. Thank you. So you get to end up choosing the face of the cube. I'm doing a really bad job showing this. It's at an angle, that's the reason why. Can I change that?
Yeah, if it was a little more dead on, it would be a lot better. But
Yeah. So basically, you get to choose the face that you use from the cube. So you're able to end up, choosing the middle, choosing the right side of the cube or the left side of the cube. But more or less, because you're choosing the face, you'd be right in the middle, which means you would end up getting 5 foot on either side, which can get one, as you can end up seeing right here, but the other one is just out of reach.
yeah, Thunderwave is weirdly picky. I wish it was just an area.
Yeah, because now that just ends up entire fucking plan.
I
They both kind of
will.
look just out of reach, honestly.
What you could do
From above.
is move over here and still use Thunderwave, but you then end up getting the 15-foot cube going that way and still end up hitting both of them. They just won't go off the cliff now.
Hitting both would be great for the action economy,
Yeah.
but killing one would also be strategically better.
Hey, if you want to get between.
Potentially.
Yeah.
It's up to you. I'm too angry to understand what's happening over there.
You did use, what was it, 20 feet? So you might have a better chance with these two right here, potentially. Let me see.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
that
Even
gets
if you
them.
back up onto
That
the
gets
cliff
them.
thing.
Yep, that gets them both right here with your Thunderwave. So you can throw these two off. You'll just end up leaving this one up here in the front. But you can potentially throw them off. They just have to make a strength save, I believe.
Constitution.
Constitution save.
They need to be at 17.
They both do not. They both end up getting flung off on top of the damage that you're going to roll.
Yay.
I rolled 13.
No. They're
13
just like
points.
double dead.
So
The fall damage is more than enough, I think.
They get bloodied and then they take. Where's the edge? There's the edge. We'll call that 20 feet. So that end up taking an extra 2d6 of fall damage on top of your 13. 15, which is enough to kill them.
Woo.
Right.
Flat.
And if they didn't die, we could send the other dragons in the pit could just go for them too.
That depends. Why are they stuck down there anyway?
I gotta go eat.
Probably because of
Okay.
the dragons that are up here.
Would
enough.
you like to get a better look at them now that you are closer to the pit?
Me? Yeah, I'll get a better look at them real quick.
But I also get a better look at them while I can.
I'm more focused on the people I'm killing.
You can tell that all of their wings have more or less not been clipped, but in particular, there are quite literal hooks in them that are attaching them to their body and piercing into their wings.
Oh, they're never gonna fly right again. Oh, cool. That doesn't heal.
They will
They're back.
require
would mending
animus.
work?
They will require animus magic in order to properly heal them.
Alright,
Hey, it's a great thing
well,
there's a healer here
I'll be
too.
back.
All right, see you when you get back.
Dust, it is back to your turn.
Time to kill.
Also,
Don't get
might-
carried away.
I might as
He can't
well.
hear you. He's too angry.
And far.
Yeah.
She's kind of like, if I have to clean up after you, I'm gonna be really annoyed.
Too bad. I can't hear you. Anyway, I'm rolling an attack. How's a dirty
Oh.
20?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, that's an 11 slashing damage. On one of
Yep.
them, you pick, I don't care.
They are bloodied.
I will do it again. 16 to hit.
16 hits.
That is another 11.
They are
oh,
dead.
these guys are doomed.
Bonus action, another attack on the other guy. This first guy
Bonus
just
action.
got.
Kill.
Yeah, this other guy got. Dust just slammed his fist down on top of the guy's head and just splattered his skull in one hit.
Okay, but what about throwing a guard at another guard and just killing them both that way?
He's gonna grab the first one, dead one's body, and use that for an attack. Let's see how that goes. 18 to hit
Oh no!
18 hits.
for another 11 damage.
Bloodied.
And that was a bonus action to do that.
Yep. You are out
If I take damage, I can use a reaction to make a melee weapon attack, which I don't have weapons, technically speaking, but I do have weapons, and that's my hands.
Your hands are the weapons.
I am a weapon. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's all for Dust. He just drops the dead body next to the other guy, like, what are you gonna do about it? But he doesn't say that out loud.
He is the problem.
Yeah.
He is way out of here by now. And
Who is?
the Iron Wing, he ended up leaving at this point with the rider.
Oh, he said, screw this.
Yeah, let's let them know we're attacking. That's a great idea. That is all for me, of course.
This one is going to roar and whatnot. I will say, Ocelot, you would be the one who's probably end up paying the most attention out of everybody here. I would also have Scarab, make the check, but they're not here at the moment, so I'll have Ocelot make the check. Make me a perception check.
Oh no. Oh no. 13.
You can end up hearing the Iron Wing is yelling out, "The generals ran off! We need to go!"
Yeah, don't let them go.
The general's already gone. We can kill the rest.
Yeah, I'm talking about the rest.
I know, yeah.
We should probably run up on another dragon. Probably the only one.
I was gonna say that, actually, yeah.
Nice.
How far is it between me and the nearest enemy dragon?
Da-da-da-da-da.
Because I had to make that distinction.
You are
Far.
65 feet.
Not far enough.
Never far enough.
Yeah, when it's my turn again, I'm going to do something.
Oh, this man is just doomed.
How far can I say, throw it, for the flavor of it, throwing a corpse? Could I
Oh my gosh.
throw my weapon?
The weapon that is the corpse.
I will count it as a javelin, but I will give the attack roll disadvantage.
Okay, so I'm not gonna do that. On my turn, of course. There could still be something happening between then and now, of course, because, you know, it has its own turn and there's other people. Go, continue. I'm done talking.
As their
this is
army is
funny.
mostly gone at this point, and, you know, they're being utterly slaughtered, and their general has ended up running at this point, you know, the person that you were sent here in order to retrieve and bring back.
Oh right.
Oh.
Yeah, they're the one who's running right now.
I may have forgotten about them. Being
Yeah,
who
I
we're
would
supposed to
suggest maybe
get.
you should go after them.
All of these people are going to disengage unless you have Sentinel Dust. They are able to get out.
I do not, as I was an idiot in my character design choice. Although, hold on, I might have another feature that could do something like that. Oh, apparently I can throw something if someone attacks an ally of mine. That's funny.
That's funny.
Uh,
Oh, somebody wants to attack? Okay. Yeet.
yeah, I think that's it. They're good.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to mention that Dust can keep track of the time precisely.
I do have a question.
Yes.
Would them trying to run away, would the one trying to run away from me provoke opportunity attack, or did they disengage?
Yep, they all ended up, well, the ones with you guys disengaged, everybody else is just running.
Alright, just checking.
Yep.
You might want to go in the direction the general went. It might help.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have her do that. What's that? Oh.
That is your dragon who is carrying away the general, who is the rider.
Okay.
Yeep.
Over here. Yeah, I accidentally yeeted myself over here.
You're still laying
Here,
down,
I'm
by the way.
flying
You're
now.
just flying upside down.
Yeah, I'm flying upside down now.
I don't think you'd be able to make that.
Oh, I didn't realize we were still in battle, my bad.
Yeah, I mean, are they all disengaging? Is combat ending?
Everyone is running away, but I didn't know if you guys are staying to fight. If not, then we will do away.
I'll be totally honest. Dust would. As much as it's a detriment to everyone else.
Can I just not stay to fight and just follow the general?
You may get out of the fight, and I will let you get to the general. I will remove you from...
Dust has chosen to remain in combat.
the turn order.
Dust is lame.
The DM says combat's ended. Dust says nuh-uh.
Yeah. Dust dares to defy the DM.
I will assume, given how Scarab has played so far, that they are going to go down to the dragons and kind of help. So I will remove them from the turn order.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of just going after the general first because that's kind of a priority, but after I'm done talking to the general, I'm gonna see if there's any more dragons that need help being freed and stuff. And help healing.
Welcome back.
Oh, your
Your
turn.
body has been corpse puppeted into the pit to help, well, will be puppeted into the pit to help dragons who are trapped.
Yeah, combat is basically over. All of the scavengers are running, although Dust doesn't care and is going to continue
one more to
kill. So they've all started running. We figured that given Scarab's character, they're probably going to try and help the dragons in the pit instead of chasing after to slaughter the rest.
Yeah. Yeah, so Scarab's wants you to drop the disguise self and sort of just let his way down.
Yep. Meanwhile, well, we could do without the the music at this point. We can go to some normal-ish music.
Woo.
Meanwhile, Dust, the music gets louder.
Yeah. The
He
doom
is the
music
boss fight.
kicks in.
They only think they fear is you.
Ocelot. You end up
Ocelot, could you please? Sorry.
Yeah, you catch up with the Iron Wing who is carrying the general, his rider, away. And the Iron Wing kind of looks at you and growls a bit as he curls the tail around his rider.
I'm not going to, well, you probably aren't gonna believe me, but I'm not gonna hurt him. I'm just here to talk.
The general kind of holds his hand up and gently ends up rubbing his hand down the neck. It's all right, it's all right. Calm, calm. What is it you're here to speak about?
Our queen told us that we were to come retrieve you, like help you get out of this. Like defect.
Right, I see. I am wanting to defect, yes. Everything that's been happening has gone way too far.
Yeah.
The eating of dragons.
I thought I was doing something good, but... well, just seeing everything, I can't support it.
That's understandable. So. Yeah, Coyote kind of is a little bit awkward because she doesn't exactly know how to talk to this human.
Mm-hmm.
In exactly how she's trying to talk, but she is trying. So I suppose we will have to we will have to get the prisoners out of there, by the way, before we go. But I think Queen Thorn will be very happy to find... Well, are you willing to help us, actually? I didn't even ask. I'm so sorry about that.
I think I am. I won't be on the front lines or anything, but I can end up giving you information that might end up helping in order to try and put this to an end. I don't want my people to end up dying, but at the same time, I can't let them keep doing what they're doing. I think the best middle ground would be to help you put this to an end, so that way my people, or what will be left of them, can return home. Or find a home here, potentially.
Well, we'll have to see about that. But we do not expect any we don't expect you to be on the front line. It would be unsafe, unwise even, to put you there. So, all the information you can give is gonna be very appreciated. What was your name? And your dragon's too?
My name is Dagger, and my dragon's name is Calm.
Oh, his name's Calm? I thought you were just telling him to calm down.
I was, but I said calm, telling him to be calm and his name at the same time. It's confusing.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Dagger. She, kind of awkwardly holds out her talon to try to shake his hand, but it's kind of big.
Yeah.
But she's trying to be polite.
He'll take one of the individual talons and shake. Meanwhile,
Did you
Go,
just jump
Dust.
in the pit?
go, Dust.
No. Dust is going to chase after this guy. He's going to be yelling, just whatever random hill, die, whatever he could do. Just 12 doesn't hit. Reckless attack, 19 hits. I know that for sure. That's
Yeah.
10 slashing damage. Let's go with another. That's a 27 to hit. Let's go. 12 more damage. Is this guy dead yet? Too bad. I'm still attacking him. 12 more damage on the corpse.
There is pieces of a corpse left, and there are more scavengers still running.
Coyote
He's
just
going to-
hears the distant screams of the damned, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, he's going to make the biggest mess I've ever had to clean up. I
Yeah,
am so
seeing him-
sorry for his violence."
Seeing him eating, seeing them eating other dragons is like, well, not other, but just eating dragons is just like, nuh-uh. Killing is one thing, eating the bodies is another. He's going after them. Shh.
You
And-
have used all of your actions, but that is perfectly fine. When it gets back around to you, you'll be able to get more in.
Anyway, back to Calm Town.
Back to Calm Town as I return the music.
Meanwhile, he's just
Scarab.
Yeah, so Scarab's going to go around to some of the dragons and dragons to the pit, and telling them to just trust him, and just going to vortex warp them to the top of the cliff.
So you slowly,
What does
one
that
by
do
one,
exactly?
get the dragons
it's-
back up.
You magically twist space around another creature you can see within range. The target must succeed to a Constitution saving throw. The target can choose to fail, or the target is teleported to an unoccupied space of your choice you see within range. I think it's a range of 90 feet. So
Yeah.
How many times can you use that?
I have 3 spell slots. Well, actually, I do also.
Yeah.
I can use it a total of 6 times because I have 3 level 2 slots and 3 level 3 slots.
Yeah, we are
The only-
also going by spell points for animus dragons, so you can end
Yes.
up converting everything to that instead.
Okay, so a
Sounds
quick
like you guys have
rundown. Yeah, a quick rundown. Basically, a level 1 spell slot is worth 1 point, so you get however many points based on how many of those spell slots you have. A level 2 spell slot is worth 2 points, so you get that many points.
Oh, wait a minute.
I calculated yours, you're fine.
Oh, okay.
So then I have.
If you...
So for every level spell that I have grants that same level of.
Points. Yes.
Points, yes.
So if
And
you
you
have
use that in the resource tab.
yeah, so if
when
you were to
they,
have 2 level 5s, that would be 10 points because that's 5 plus 5. And you count for as many as you have, and then you use the spell points for whatever level of spell you want to cast.
Right, so that would make it so that you wouldn't have to use a whole spell slot of 2nd level to cast a level 1 spell. You would just use 1 point, leaving you with an extra point left over.
Oh, I'm supposed to have 47
Oh, did we
So
count wrong?
because
so I have. I'm so
I was
confused.
just going on the number of spell slots, not the
Yeah.
slots followed by the
Oh, okay.
like I wasn't counting each slot as its specific number of points.
Let-
I will apologize to anyone potentially watching this stream or the video when this gets uploaded. Technical difficulties do happen in the middle of half combat sometimes.
Send me
Yep.
your character sheet.
Which one?
For Scarab.
Which of us? It's on roll 20, so we've had difficulties with that
You can
before.
download the PDF file.
Yeah.
And send it to him.
What do I click on to do that?
Okay.
Print. And then there should be an option to save as PDF.
All right, if you want, I can just handle this.
Yeah,
real
go
quick.
ahead and handle that, and we'll keep going.
All right. Yeah, we're gonna switch to another call real quick. I'll be back.
Go ahead.
right.
I'll continue on with Ocelot.
Yep.
Okay, sorry.
Mhm.
Nor did Teagle.
So,
Okay.
go ahead.
Go ahead. What now?
No, it's you, Calm, and Dagger.
All right. Well, we're just. I'm gonna go ahead and say so. Since we're here, we're gonna have to go on ahead and see if we can help those dragons get the hooks off them. That's barbaric, by the way, but you know.
Yes.
And
I certainly agree.
so she turns around, but while she's and she begins to walk toward them, but while she's walking toward the dragons, she does sit chatter. So on your continent, dragons and humans live side by side, huh?
Yes. In fact, we have an extremely close bond between human and dragon. We more or less get them while they're in the egg, and kind of grow alongside of each other the entire time. Not everybody ends up, getting a dragon as they grow. It's reserved for the military personnel. We call ourselves the Dragon God.
Interesting. I think we have hunt humans. That was a me thing, not the ocelot thing. I think we have humans that call themselves that around here too. Though they don't really ride dragons. And I think back before we really knew that humans were
I'm back.
intelligent, in fact actually sentient, they protected themselves from us.
I see.
But if we knew they were sentient, we wouldn't have eaten them or anything, I promise. She doesn't say the I promise part.
Yeah, I guess fair is fair. The men have eaten your kind, so fair play on both sides, I guess. Not
Yeah.
ideal, but
Yeah, no, we don't really like to do that anymore on account of it's pretty wrong to eat sentient creatures.
yeah. But meanwhile, more death and destruction. You continue just in the background, slaughtering a whole bunch of
He's still
people.
being the boss.
And
I am
Scarab,
the boss fight.
Scarab is now caught up on spell points and whatnot, and begins to use it to get these dragons back up to the top, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I will mention as the dragons get void warped up to the top, Coyote is going to be trying to help them get the cooks out their wings. Oh my gosh, they just exploded out. And then they just rained on me. One literally just rained on top of me.
Okay, here's a question. Do the hooks stay in after they teleport, or do they just pop out?
They stay in. they have to get removed.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm certain it's very painful to remove, so
You do notice
While
that they
Coyote-
are barbed hooks.
yeah.
Oh, that's just cruel.
Ugh. That's horrible.
I say, playing a character that is currently chasing down fleeing enemies and beating them to death with themselves.
Yeah. So Coyote's just like, this is worse than barbaric. What is a word for worse than barbaric?
Points in the
Ugh.
distance. Dust.
Worse than that. She points to
Mm.
dust.
Evil. Sadistic.
Cruel.
No, those are still too weak of words for this. She's trying her best to make sure that it's as painless as it can possibly, or as unpainful as it can possibly be to remove the hooks. Though
You
there's still likely some pain.
Yeah, you find that the best way is to cut the hooks themselves out to more or less break it, so that way the barbed section doesn't end up, having to get pulled through in any way.
And I am going to do that.
Eventually, after Dust has slaughtered the people,
Well, no, he'll still be standing over there, just
Breathing
Breathing.
heavily,
covered in blood.
Covered in
More
blood.
blood than he's used to being covered in, I'll be honest.
probably drooling like a maniac because he's kind of gone stupid.
He has kind of gone stupid.
Yeah.
after a little while, eventually, I will say, Ocelot, you notice somebody in the distance slowly beginning to make their way over towards you guys.
Someone in the distance. Oh no. Oh no. Which distance?
We'll use this one. This one looks nice.
Oh no.
You don't look familiar. I don't know you. That's my purse. She's clutching her bag of.
I like how the
holding it.
ground's shaking whenever it moves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
anything that's 2x2 or more will do that. Like if I was put it as a 1x1, it wouldn't shake. But
Oh, that is hilarious.
you want to know the more fun version? A 14x14.
Oh
Move
no,
it.
it's huge.
Make it move.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
hilarious. It's like a
Alright.
seahorse from this vantage point.
Yeah.
Slowly, this dragon that does not look like other dragons ends up making its way up, and you recognize the eyes and whatnot.
Oh, this guy. Hello, Wishmaster.
As I said, I don't have a name, but
Well, that's what I'm calling you. That's your name now.
it will work.
It
You're
would
at
work.
the
It works very well for a Nightwing, actually, now that I think about it.
you're at the end of your 2 days. If you do not collect as of now, then you lose out. Feel free to make your choice.
Asking questions does not count as a wish, right? Because I have questions.
I'm
Careful with your
making
phrasing.
I'm making this a completely free one. I will be kind.
Are there limitations?
Only the limitations as to what my own limitations are. cannot bring anybody back who has died. Otherwise, I have not come across something that I am incapable of.
Okay, that's just classic animus behavior. Animus magic behavior. She thinks that. She doesn't say it out loud.
Yep.
She thinks for a few moments. There are so many things I could wish for right now.
Has
While-
anything happened as of recent?
A lot of things have happened as of recent. I'm constantly dealing with world-ending scenarios. This is nothing new to me. I'm fine. However...
Would you like to discuss it as to what you might be considering, or would you like it to be completely private?
I would like to speak over the table.
Okay.
You may.
'Cause
I can potentially give you some options that has happened as of recent as well after you discuss things.
So, one big thing I was thinking for was having her wish that he fight alongside them as an ally without sabotaging any other allies, any of the dragons from this continent, or allies thereof.
Fun.
Could also make feel like that would be like that creature like this wouldn't really feel for that. Could try wishing that any other wishes that it grants only benefit the natives of Pyrrhia and Pentala, excluding Deathbringer.
The thing about that is there's still the stipulation that after the fact, whoever created the Wishmaster, owns their soul at the end.
My potential question that could be used as a wish might be asking what caused this thing to exist in the first place, and why, and who, and where, and all that shit. Asking to know everything about this thing.
That I feel like should be yeah, I feel like that has to be encompassed under the as our ally thing.
Shall I give you one of the potential options that I feel that you might end up wanting as well?
Sure.
Deathbringer is a horrible enemy, and he has been put over to the other side, but it was, as far as you can tell, due to one of the wishes prior, so you could use your freebie to potentially have Deathbringer come back to his own senses.
Or ask to undo all previous wishes.
That could be a thing, yeah.
But that would cause the general to no longer want to defect, I know that much.
Yes, also.
That's the problem.
Right now I'm kind of thinking I like my thing the most.
I really, really don't want to be exposed to this guy as much as possible. I will lose my mind.
You've already lost it.
To be fair, Dust is currently breathing and rolling like a maniac on the other side of the cliff watching this happen.
And just drenched in blood.
So
he's kind of getting more mad probably that he's just watching her calmly talk to him and not like beat him up.
Why are you not smashing him?
Mammal Scare was just glaring at the Wishmaster, just thinking over what to do in the situation.
So, are you wanting to go with yours then?
I think so.
Okay. Please go ahead and state it for me again so I can write it down.
Alright. What I really want, what I desire, and as you initially stated in our first meeting, it is for you to be our ally, to fight alongside us, without sabotaging our allies.
Or us.
Or us.
There you go.
To be our ally, to fight alongside us. And what was the rest of it?
Without sabotaging us or any of our allies.
Without sabotaging us or any of our allies.
Can I add an inclusion to that particular desire?
You are currently still giving it, so you may, yes.
Okay. This includes wishes that would, in the long run... No, no, don't do the in the long run part. Wishes that would sabotage us and our allies.
Sabotage us and our allies. All right. I will read this back to you. Make sure that I am saying it correctly, because I am going to monkey paw everything that this guy does. It's just how it works.
Yeah, I got the clip.
Yeah. To be our ally, to fight alongside us without sabotaging us or any of our allies. This includes wishes that would sabotage us and our allies.
What do you guys think?
Maybe change would to could. That way it will always include every potential.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Good.
Yeah, let's do could instead of would.
Yeah, because just because it would doesn't mean another wish could hurt us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me read it again. Because, again, I'm going to monkey paw everything that this guy does.
I know.
It's just how it works. So I just want to make
Yeah.
sure that I have it 100% in writing as you guys say it. To be our ally, to fight alongside us without sabotaging us or any of our allies. This includes wishes that could sabotage us and our allies.
I think that's the best we're gonna get.
I think
What do
if
you
you
guys
want
think?
to do that, go ahead.
Yeah, good work.
Okay. Oh, that's the wish. How screwed are we? On a scale of 1 to, oh, you done fucked up, son.
Actually, not too bad. You did word it very well.
Aren't you glad I caught that one little thing?
Aren't you glad I thought of it in the first place?
Yes.
Done.
Can I make an Arcana check on the Wishmaster to see if there's any like weaknesses in the magic holding it to make it giving it life?
You can, but you won't see any form of connection and whatnot unless it would be potentially on him.
I got a 26.
Other than, the jewelry and whatnot that he is wearing, you don't notice anything in particular.
I mean, like, specifically him. Like, is there any, like, I'm using the Arcana check to see, is there any way that my magic could work to essentially work against him if ever need arises? Because keep in mind, Scarab has actually received a lot of training with Matt in terms of actually being an animus.
I will give you this. He does not count as a person. So if you were to end up targeting him with any sort of spell that requires you to target a human or an animal or a monster or anything like that, it does not work against him. If it just requires a target, it could work on him.
Alright.
Could I
So
look
what I'm hearing is Ocelot / Coyote has just decided she wants to personify this thing.
Does Dust eventually make his way over, seeing this being, this thing?
Yeah, he'll eventually leave his rage. And just stand there,
He's over.
staring blankly.
No. Anytime you're in combat, I'll be there. Otherwise, is there anything else? That was a freebie, so you still have another 2 wishes before I end up claiming your soul.
No more wishes from me.
Scarab is going to step in. I do have a wish to make.
Ah, yes. Number 2. Go for it.
That was fast.
Any wishes that you grant, any
Well, do I-
wishes, intentional or otherwise, that you grant towards any of us, or any of the queens, current or future, you are to, before granting it and taking away from the tally of wishes that they have left, you are to ask if they are sure they truly want that to be granted. No matter where you are, no matter if you are in the shadows, you will reveal yourself and ask for clarification as to if they want it to be granted. And if they say that they would rather not, then you leave it be. You do not take away from the tally, you do not grant the wish. You must have full
Coyote is
permission.
just staring.
Done.
He's not done talking. Okay.
Sorry. I thought he was. And then he continued. Sorry.
Yeah, that's it.
Done.
You do realize that could completely sabotage us if we're in the midst of battle, right? And someone just wishes something.
I'm
Sure,
thinking. I'm thinking of at least 4 different ways I could probably twist that wish.
And what are those ways?
I don't want to give
we're
any
in the middle
ideas.
of battle, and he decides, and then somebody's wishing, and he just pops out of existence, which would actually be going against my freebie.
Well, no, that would be he'd have to be there specifically with one of us making a wish or one of the queens making a wish. No matter where he is, if he's hiding or whatever, if they make a
No
wish in his
matter where
presence.
he is.
If they make a wish in his presence, is what it was.
Oh,
They
I
have-
didn't hear the in his presence thing.
You know, fair
Yeah.
enough. God, that means he could just be poofed around the entire goddamn continent now. Great.
Except the part where it would technically sabotage a battle. Or our allies.
Wait, so does this being have to be in range, have to be within earshot of someone having a desire or a wish for the wish to be granted? I'm
Oh,
so
yes.
confused now.
You can't end up doing it while I'm not here. I do have to still hear it, of course. So, say I'm currently speaking with one of the queens. The moment y'all get into battle, I'm no longer there with the queen. I'm with you, helping you in your battles as your ally.
Yeah,
So,
any-
you can poof me around, and then I have to make my way back to said queen I'm trying to get the wish from.
So then you do need to actually be there in person to be able to grant the wish.
I do.
Oh, okay.
Now then,
Right, so
we're on a roll right now. My friend, the one who tried to kill me, Dust. You have anything? Come, please.
He's going to pick up a stone and chuck it at the dude's head.
Sure enough, you leave a massive crater, but it slowly begins to snap back.
Zero cares. Probably like, well, that was rude.
Very well. That was your freebie. You still have 2 if you would like. Ocelot, I like you much better. You don't cause me pain.
Yeah, it's always better to not lead with violence. However, I have no wishes to grant at this time.
Sad. In that case, I shall be off. And as your ally, I shall tell you exactly which queen that I am headed towards right now. I'm currently on my way to Queen Snowfall.
Oh,
Scares Wayne.
well, thank you for the warning, I guess.
He's just immediately going to start step away, pulling out that stone that he gemstone that he was speaking to earlier to communicate.
Is he being quiet?
I hope so.
Is it
I hope he made a stealth check.
a stone of sending?
Yeah, basically, it's when they enchanted himself.
Yep.
Specifically with others,
Mhm.
specifically.
The sending
kept
stone
it
can be
bonus.
used once per day. Since you did use it earlier, you won't be able to use it.
Scares was going to drown frustration in grab the
You-
Wishmaker.
Do have the paper, however, should you want to use the paper.
Right. Wait, doesn't the paper only send to others that have it?
It counts as a scroll of the spell's sending. That's why you have 25
Oh.
words.
Right, so Scare's going to pull out the scroll and
Well, wait, hold on 1 second. Before you do that, let me look at what the sending spell specifically does.
How much headway did I make taking care of getting the hooks out of these dragons, by the way?
You've gone through them and gotten them all out over time as you were thinking about the free desire, wish, want that you wanted.
Okay,
All
so
right.
you need to personally know the person, you or at least be familiar with them. As long as they have an intelligence score of at least 1.
1.
Scarab isn't trying to specifically contact Queen Snowfall, but he's trying to contact his technically adopted brother, who is an Icewing. And
Oh yeah, him.
no, this is not just a random off-the-cuff thing. This is actually a thing that I had developed long before this campaign.
Who is he sending this
Hilariously
to?
enough.
The Icewing named Icefall, who
Oh yeah, Icefall.
has strangely reflective scales.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the one I drew.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's
I feel
sending
like
a
ask
message.
how his wife is.
he's just getting
Coyote does not know.
You have a 25 word.
He's immediately getting straight to the chase. Icefall, there's an
hold on.
dragon named.
Hold on.
Hey, wait.
There's a 25 word limit.
I know.
Okay.
Icefall, there's an enchanted thing called Wishmaker, heading towards Snowfall. If granted 3 wishes, soul taken. will be asked for clarification. Will be asked if truly wants wish granted.
That's it.
Warn her.
That's it.
That was it.
Yep, you were out before that last little bit.
It
You
can
could've-
answer immediately if the person recognizes you.
Mhm.
Which they would. I will make sure to. Is it a male or female?
Male.
Male. Okay. I will make sure to let them know. Take care. Do not engage. It sounds dangerous.
Little late for that.
Well,
We made friends.
listen,
I'm kidding.
Besties.
as the way that Highsball would respond is, "Oh dear, I'll go immediately. Just be careful. Just be careful, brother."
Yep, it doesn't go through because it's one and then back and that's it. So
No,
you're
no,
talking to
it
yourself
was-
on that one.
He was saying how the character would actually respond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Iceball is almost naively cheerful sorts.
Anyways,
Yes.
so he turns and he begins to leave. I eventually look forward to all of your final wishes.
I don't. Goodbye.
Scarab's just going
She
to,
said the quiet part
lowest
out
as
loud.
He leaves. He does not trust this thing. he was thought
he's in for a
that
rude
playing
awakening.
God through Animus magic is not good.
There's like this really strong warrior over there. He's probably gonna get very cold at some point. You know, we should probably actually go too. Not with him, but like,
We should probably go
Was it-
before the rest of their army gets back and we get fucking murdered.
yeah.
Is everyone good to fly?
Dust is gonna take a look at all the gaping holes in their wings and be like, I don't think so.
It would
I
either
would
hurt
like-
or begin to tear.
I would like to have Coyote going around, seeing if she can just cast a quick little spell of some sort. Wait a
You
minute.
have cure wounds.
Cure wounds would work.
I can cure wounds.
You
Yes.
can cast
What
40.
the hell?
Sorry, you can cast it 43 times, by the way.
How many dragons do we have?
You have a
7.
total of
Yeah.
1, 2, 3,
Is it 7 or is it?
6, 7, 8, 9 dragons.
I will cure 9 dragons.
Hey, question.
Yes.
Who the heck are these people?
They are people who ran away that you also ended up killing. They were just there. I haven't gotten rid of them.
Their corpses are there at least. Got it. I will.
Oh yeah, they
Okay, there we go.
Including
yeah, sorry about that. I got distracted and
Them.
accidentally raised their corpses up a little bit. My bad.
No, you didn't. You can't do that.
I mean, I didn't bring them back to life. I just made their corpses animated a little bit. And barely
No,
even
you-
animated. They're just standing.
You're still laying down on the ground, by the way.
No, I'm not. What do you mean?
Oh,
Wait,
I
was I
accidentally killed
actually-
it. I accidentally killed it.
Oh,
Dare you?
Thankfully, it's a unique creature, so I can end up doing this.
Oswald, you bastard!
Now it's no longer laying down.
Yeah, I don't know why I was laying down.
Anyway,
Anyways,
Well, once all the holes in the wings are mended, I suppose that we should start. No, we should get going back to Queen Thorn.
So,
hmm,
y'all head back then?
Yep.
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 Dust is still dripping with blood. None of it is his.
Coyote
He's
gently taps his shoulder. Hey, clean yourself up before we see the queen.
Fine. He's gonna go off to the river, off to the side over here, and just wash up a little bit. I'm gonna. Wee!
It takes you a little bit, but Eventually, as the sun slowly begins to rise, you end up making it back. Let me summon you all here.
Yeah, the entire flight back, Scared just seems to be incredibly annoyed only by the appearance of the Wishmaster.
I just want to take the time to mention you're currently the one who is most at risk of becoming very much a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got one left, buddy.
I'm on my last wish, which is why I made my wish the way that it was.
I am excited to see how that will backfire horribly.
Oh, he needs to ask my permission. He needs to ask if I'm sure that I want it granted.
You know, you could have just worded it as that they need to ask that person's permission before they can officially grant their wish.
That's basically what he said. If he
You needed
if
to word
permission
it
is not-
specifically that way.
It's wording.
if
If you
permission is
say
not if they say
Or-
that they do not want it granted, then he leaves it alone and does not grant it.
But that's not what you said. You didn't wish that. You just wished that he would ask first
That-
if they were
that is-
sure.
That is part of what I said.
So he could ask if they're sure, but then regardless of what they say, just do it anyway.
No, if they say that that they don't
that's
actually
not
want
how
it,
it would work. You didn't say he had any obligation to actually listen to them.
Exactly. It's a very wording is extremely important with monkey paw situations. That's why I was as specific as I was with my wording.
This is why during my session 0 for this, I had an entire half an hour mental breakdown. Sushi could tell you it was bad. I literally I was spiraling so damn hard. I genuinely was not looking forward to this.
Just great. Fucking.
What?
So basically, I just fucked things over, right?
Maybe.
Just fucking great.
Possible.
I mean, it probably won't actually change anything other than him asking if they actually want it.
Yeah, admittedly, everything that we've also wished for could also go bad.
Absolutely.
The whole
true.
allies thing.
We tried to word it so that it's like, hey, you need to actually ask their permission as to if they want to grant it. Granted, if they say no, then you leave it be.
If you'd said that whole thing, that
Yes,
would actually help a lot.
I said the entire thing.
I do not remember
Did
you
you write
saying that last part.
I do remember that part. Yes, he did.
Okay, all right.
Okay, never mind then. Sorry.
Okay, so I was being guessed, so I was in. So.
Okay. Look, I'll apologize. I've got a very bad short-term memory. Everyone here knows that. Sorry. I must have missed that.
It's just kind of weird that two
What?
people missed that.
Oh,
Two
yeah.
people missed that.
Yeah,
It was
fair
a very long-winded wish.
enough. That's
Mm.
fair, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, alright, we'll figure it out. But, are we done, or are we...
We got just a little bit left. As you guys end up slowly approaching the castle, you end up seeing...
Wait, what about Dagger and Calm?
they are also on their way. Yeah.
They just left a little bit after us, I guess.
Yeah, we'll say they exist. They're just in ghost form, for right now.
Yeah.
But you see 3 dragons making their way, flying towards the castle.
Oh boy, more dragons that we don't know.
You recognize this as Queen Coral.
Oh boy.
Coyote bows her head. Hello, ma'am.
Dust is going to mostly stay out of this conversation as he,
He's not very good at politics.
yeah. He also may or may not be a known criminal pretty much everywhere, just by association.
We're just going to smile nervously at Queen Coral. Hello, Your Majesty. How is...
I don't have time right now. I'm currently getting ready to end up talking to your queen.
What's wrong, Your Majesty?
Well,
There's a war, you idiot.
there's an entire
Well, beyond that,
war
dust.
going on, but I would like answers as to why I ended up seeing a lot of sandwings. As far as I could tell, a bunch of criminals. And she does end up giving Dust a little bit of a side eye.
Coyote also side eyes him, mainly because, are you serious right now? Why'd you open your mouth?
Running off with a very large portion of my army without my permission.
Shocked. Oh. Yeah, that's fair enough. That is something, if I were you, I'd want answers for that too.
Yes. And what I would really like to know more than anything else is why in the world Deathbringer and all was going alongside with them.
Your Majesty, that would have to do with the message that was delivered to you by one of your sons, Prince Rife. I had sent him a message about a animus created dragon that grants wishes. If they grant this creature grants someone 3 wishes, that person essentially loses their soul. I have, and please don't tell Reef this, because you would absolutely be, because I would never hear the end of it. I have used my second wish to give a bit of a barrier for you and the other queens. As for the situation with Deathbringer, he annoyingly, this Wishmaster finds loopholes in wishes, so you have to be incredibly specific with them. So, someone may have made a wish to want information, all the information on both sides, or something of the sorts, and so a general on the enemy side has affected, with the spell, with the wish having also made someone on our side, in this case, Deathbringer, defect.
So you're telling me that a traitor just ran off with a large portion of my army, either into a trap or to defect themselves?
Oh, the large portion of the army, I don't know what is happening there. But with Deathbringer, that is the explanation.
Coyote is kind of sitting there, trying not to go ahead and just go in and start giving Thorn the information they have already.
Dust is doing that. He's leaving.
You know what? As soon as she knows his Dust is going, she's good. She's going too. Screw this. I'm not part of this conversation anymore. Sorry.
Or on the other dragons.
Yep, they are also gonna end up heading inside.
Ugh. There we go.
Oh, hey, it's that guard from. Hey, it's that guard from before.
Just doing guard things.
Not
I
there.
don't know if that was a guard, sir. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's like,
Yep.
Scar just glares at him as he leaves. Just,
But with that, that is where we'll end. That little bit of a cliffhanger that, as far as you're aware, a good chunk of the Sea Wing army has left and is somewhere being left by Deathbringer before word properly spread around. Y'all are not only already on the back foot, but even further on the back foot than you thought you were originally. That ends
Oh, boy.
the prologue for when we eventually start campaign 2. Something to look forward to in
Woo.
the future for whenever we end up finishing campaign 1. I hope
Yay.
everybody ended up enjoying. Thank you guys for watching either on stream or YouTube if that is where you're watching. We hope to end up catching you guys next time. Check out our Discord. You can end up talking to these lovely players here or myself. But we'll end up
Yeah.
catching you guys on the next one.